Okay, so I hope the screen is visible, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so now before going to this Power BI session, so I just want to know what exactly you have the idea about this Power BI, whatever you just, you have the knowledge into this Power BI or in the theoretical, or if you have done any practical into your organization, if you have done any kind of a project. So if you just want to share something, so you can.
Hi everyone, welcome to today's session.
Yeah. Okay. Nevertheless, so now let's start this Power BI concept. Okay, so what exactly this Power BI is? Okay, so if I talk about this Power BI, so this is basically the business intelligence tool. Okay, this is business intelligence tool, and this is basically used for data visualization. Okay, it means if you have a data set, and if you want to get the insights from that data set, then obviously that data should be into the summarized format, right? So if you have a large data set, and now I said, I just want to take a decision on the basis of my data set. So only a company or a person can take the decision on the large volume data set when that data is into the summarized format. So how you will go for the summarization of this one? So that summarization is basically is known as the data visualization. It means that the large volume of the data, you are going to create the some kind of a dashboards where the person can see your dashboards, and through which that person can take the insights from that. On the basis of that, if they just want to take any kind of a decision making, so they can go for the decision making concept. Now, in this Power BI, what exactly we do? We just import the data and we create the visualization. Okay, so there are multiple products into this Power BI, but here I'm just going to discuss the two product of the Power BI as of now. So one is Power BI Desktop, and second is Power BI Services. Okay, now what is a Power BI Desktop? So Power BI Desktop is basically a window-based desktop application. Okay, it is window-based desktop application where you can import the data from multiple data sources and create the visualization. Okay, this one. So you can import the data from multiple data sources and you can create the visualization. Okay, right. So now if you are going to import the data, so what the data sources can be? Your data source can be the Excel file. Your data source can be the CSV file. Your data source can be the Access, SQL Server, SAP HANA, SharePoint, Snowflake, any kind of these things can be your data sources from where you are going to import the data into this Power BI desktop. So in this Power BI, they have given the multiple data sources connector through which you can connect with the different data sources. You can import the data into this Power BI desktop and you can create the dashboard or the visualization as per your business requirement. Now, if you have created any visualization into this Power BI desktop, so how that visualization is going to get delivered to the client? Okay. Yeah. Rahul, you have a question, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, please ask.
Actually, sir, my name is not Rahul Thoru Prajapati. Then that's laptop is my brother.
Yeah, tell me.
Yes, sir. एक्चुअली सर सर मतलब कैसे यहाँ पर जो सिलेबस है सर पहले कैसे क्या, ये मेरा पहला क्लास है सर आज का।
Yeah, Aji, basically this session is started by today only.
ओके।
Yeah. So this is the first class.
और सर सेकंड चीज की सर मेरा कल एक इंटरव्यू है सर पीडब्ल्यूसी का, पहला इंटरव्यू निकल गया है। जी सर, तो सर मैं ये सोच रहा था सर रिकॉर्डिंग इसका मिल जाता थोड़ा मैं कल के लिए प्रिपरेशन कर लेता सर।
You will get it. So the team will share with you. You will get it, each and everything.
यस।
Okay.
और सेकंड चीज सर थोड़ा एक क्वेश्चन था, अगर आप तो थोड़ा समझा देते सर, बीच में मैं आपको इंटरप्ट कर रहा हूँ
Uh,
सर।
on this one regarding this your interview, can we connect into the last of the session for the last 5 to 10 minutes? Then is it fine with you?
ओके सर।
Okay.
ओके सर।
Thank you so much. Okay. Okay, now so here this is the Power BI services. Okay, so what is the Power BI services? So Power BI services is basically the cloud-based services. Cloud-based services means now you have created the visualization into your Power BI desktop. Now what you have to do, the dashboard or the visualization which you have created, you want to show or you want to share with your client or with the or manager or with your basically the supervisor, right? So you are not going to send that Power BI desktop file. What you will do, the visualization which you have created, you will publish on the services. Okay, and once you will publish on this Power BI services, and from there you can share with them, they will get the URL, and through that URL they are just going to see that visualization over there. Screen is visible to everyone, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so someone has written in chat. Okay, so can you please check the net connection at your end if somebody is not able to see the screen, please? Thank you. So the Power BI services come into the picture when you have created the visualization into your Power BI desktop application, and now you want to publish it or you want to deploy it. Then this Power BI services come into the picture. It means when the dashboard, or you can say the visualization, needs to publish. Okay, so whenever you just want to publish your visualization, then this Power BI services come into the picture. Okay, now here in this Power BI desktop, we will see that how we will create the visualization, each and everything we will see now. But before go for this one, we just need to know that how you will get the installation of this Power BI desktop. Okay, so for this Power BI desktop application, there are some requirements. Yeah, anyone has any question?
सर स्क्रीन पे कुछ शो नहीं हो रहा है, ब्लैंक आ रहा है सर।
मैंने स्क्रीन शेयर किया है, बाकी सभी को स्क्रीन दिख रहा है, और आई हैव शेयर्ड द नोटपैड. Others are able to see?
Yes, I can see, sir.
Okay. Now everyone is able to see my screen?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Okay, great. So if you want to get the installation of this Power BI desktop, so Power BI desktop is completely free. That is completely the open source. You can download it completely free. Okay. Now, but if you want to get the installation of this Power BI desktop, then your system must be 64-bit. Okay, system should be the 64-bit. Now, the second thing which I'm just gonna talk about, that is nothing but the domain credentials I'm just talking about. So as of now, you do not need to worry about this login credentials activities. You can download and you can create that visualization. That login credentials will require when we will discuss about this Power BI services. Okay, so here the login credentials. Okay, this one. Now here, if you just go for this login credentials, so login credentials which the form will ask, so that login credentials are nothing but basically that should be a domain credentials. It's not about the Gmail or a Hotmail or a Yahoo. No, that is not. So it is related to your domain. So somehow, for an example, if I say here the xyz@coachx.com, okay, something like this. So here you can see this is a company domain, okay, or the organization domain. So which is not basically the use by each and everyone, right? So this is the company specific domain, correct? So you can use your company login credentials if you want to download this Power BI desktop. But always I suggest, if you are using your organization login credentials, then before go for, you have to take the permission from your leader or your supervisor, because it should not create any issue in the future, right? So you can go for this one, you can install it, okay? So that is not an issue. Now if I talk about this Power BI services, okay, so in this Power BI services, you do not need to download any software. Only the software which you have to download and install, that is the Power BI desktop only. For the Power BI services, you do not need to install any external software. You do not need to go for any configuration. So in this Power BI services, what you have to do? So this is completely the cloud-based application. Okay. So this is cloud-based application. So cloud-based application means always this will open into the browser. Okay. So basically for the Power BI services, there is a Power BI app.com. So that is nothing but the Power BI services URL where you have to log in. Once you will log in on that one, you will be able to see all the things into the Power BI services. You do not need to install the Power BI services software externally. Okay. But one more important thing, this Power BI services as a trial version, you will get trial version for 60 days. And after 60 days, it will ask that you have to convert your free trial version into the Power BI Pro. And Power BI Pro has a cost almost the 13 point something dollar. That is a per user per month. That is basically the cost. So if in the organization, if you will get this Power BI services, so definitely you are going to get the Pro license. They will just give you the Pro license. So for the Pro license, that is not related to that, because that is not the trial version. So there is no expiration date for this one. So you will get each and everything on the basis of the Pro license, which the company has purchased for you. And as of now, the cost is basically the $13 point something cents in the USD. That is per user per month. Okay. So now this is basically the concept of this Power BI services. Okay. So as of now, you have to install this Power BI desktop. Do not log in into this Power BI services as of now. Use this Power BI services when we will come into this topic, in Power BI services topic, because if you will install from today only, then your 60 days as a trial version will start from the today only. Okay, so on the day when you will log in into this Power BI services, from the same day, your trial version for the 60 days will get started. Okay, so which is not useful for you as of now. So don't log in into the Power BI services as of now. You should use this Power BI services login credentials when we will come into this topic, into the Power BI services. So since that day, you will get the 60 days as a trial version then. Okay. Is it clear to everyone till here, or anyone has any doubt?
Yeah, I have a doubt, sir.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, while publishing the dashboard uh, live, then we have to use our this thing.
Okay, let me
Office ID or what?
Yeah, okay, let me show you. Now here, I'm just creating these three windows. Okay. Now here, now the first one is basically your Power BI desktop. Okay. So now in this Power BI desktop, what you can do, you can import the data. Okay. Here you can import the data from the different data sources. Okay. Import data from different data sources. Okay. Your data sources can be, for an example, like Excel, it can be PDF, it can be your SQL server can be, SAP HANA can be, right? Anything it can be. Okay, let me make like this. Okay, so you are importing the data from the different data sources into this Power BI desktop. Okay, now you have imported the data into the Power BI desktop, and after imported, what you have done, you have created the visualization. Okay, that is nothing but the dashboard you have created. Okay, so you have used the transformation, you have used the DAX function, whatever you have to use as per the requirement, you have used it, and now you have created into this Power BI desktop. Now suppose this Power BI desktop, you have logged in by using this login credentials. For an example, I say the xyz@coachx.com. Now suppose through this one, you have logged in into this Power BI desktop. Okay. Or suppose you are just working for this CoachX, and now through this email ID, you have logged in into this Power BI desktop. Now, what you have to do this? Now, what I just need to do, I just need to publish this one. Okay, I have created the visualization. Now, this visualization, which I have created it over here, now this visualization, I just want to share this with the user. For an example, the dashboard which I have just created, I say the summary dashboard 2022. Now, this summary dashboard 2022, I just need to share with the users. So what I will do, this dashboard, which I have created into my Power BI desktop, I am just gonna publish this one. Okay. So this dashboards, I'm just going to publish here. Okay. So publish, or you can say the deploy. So if I just want to publish this dashboard, or I just need to deploy this dashboard, so when the deployment comes into the picture, it means I'm just going to talk about the Power BI services. Okay, so now this dashboard, the summary dashboard 2022, now you are going to publish into this Power BI services. So here it will come like summary dashboard 2022. Okay, now here you will be able to see the two things. One is your dashboard, one is your report. Okay, so we will go deeply when we will just come into this Power BI services. Now I'm just telling you how this architecture gets work. Okay, so now first of all, you have imported the data into your Power BI desktop, you have created the visualization, and now the next step is you are going to publish, or you are going to deploy that visualization on the Power BI services.
Means,
Now,
sir, we have to publish the desktop in Power BI service.
yeah, so basically the report which you have created into this Power BI desktop, that report you are going to publish, or you are going to deploy this one.
Okay,
So,
into this. Okay.
yeah, let's take an example. For an example, suppose in Excel file, you have prepared one report. Okay. Now I said the report which you have prepared, there are a 10% who take the input from your report. Okay. Now what you will do, I said, once you prepare your Excel report, then you need to update that file into a particular location. Okay, and that location access has with all the 10 users. Okay, so now what you will do, जो आपने report prepare किया है, so that report you will upload into that share drive. Correct? Is it clear? Okay, so now you will upload onto that share drive. So that share drive, which you generally call into your layman terms, so that is nothing but known as a Power BI services here. So it means the dashboard which you have created into your Power BI desktop, so that dashboard now you have published where? On your Power BI services, which is nothing but your cloud-based application. Okay, but one more important thing over here. This dashboard, the summary dashboard 2022, you will be able to publish on this Power BI services only if this Power BI services also you have logged in with the same login credentials. Always remember, this kind of a security the Power BI has given. So what is the security? Power BI simply said the email ID or the login credentials which you have used in the Power BI desktop, the same login credentials should be used into your Power BI services. You can only share your dashboard within the organization, not beyond the organization. Okay. For an example, here you have logged in through this xyz@coachx.com, and now you want to share with the another domain person, with other company. So you will not be able to share with them. Okay. So these kind of a security the Power BI has been given. The same login credential should be used for the Power BI desktop, and the same login credential should be used for the Power BI services. Then only you will be able to publish or the deploy your dashboard or your visualization on the Power BI services. Okay. Now, if I have published this summary dashboard 2022 in this Power BI services, now this dashboard, I just need to share with the users, right? Now I just need to share with users. So now if I just need to share with the users, it means I'm just going to give the access to them. So once you will give the access to them, so through that access, they can open into the web page, or you can say the URL they will get, which they can open on the web page, or they can also see into the mobile as well. Okay, because there is also the login, you can also log in into the mobile. That is nothing but through the Power BI services credentials, and you can also see that. Okay, so I will let you know that how you can see the published report into your mobile itself. Okay, so for this I will let you know on this one. So is it clear? Any doubt till here? So this is nothing but the cloud, if I'm just talking about, so this is nothing but the Power BI services. Any doubt till here, anyone? Is it clear? Okay, fine. Okay, so now one thing come into the picture. Now you can ask one question, sir. Suppose if I have created this visualization, this is a summary dashboard 2022, and now suppose for this I have used, suppose the sales.xlsx file. Okay, this file I have used, and I have created this visualization now. So if I have used this sales.xlsx file and I have created the visualization, I have published on this Power BI services, and I have shared with the user, and user are able to see the visualization for this summary dashboard 2022, which I have created. Okay, now this is fine. But suppose if I make any changes into my this data source, into this sales.xlsx file, so will that changes will reflect into my summary dashboard 2022, which I have published on this Power BI services? So the answer is no, directly it will not. So how you are just going to perform this one? Now let's see. So first of all, the report which you have just prepared over here, that is nothing but the summary dashboard 2022. So always remember the extension of the Power BI file is .pbix. Okay, so it means the dashboard or the report which you have saved, for example, the report I have saved, the summary dashboard.pbix. Okay, now this is my file name. Okay, this is my file name. So now if this file summary dashboard.pbix file is connected with my sales.xlsx file, and if I made any changes into my Excel file, that is a sales file, if I have made any changes, so directly it will not reflect into my summary dashboard.pbix. So what you have to do, you have to open this summary dashboard.pbix, and here you will get an option that is nothing but the refresh option. So what you have to do, you have to click on this refresh. Okay, so click on refresh. So once you will click on this refresh, so now it will refresh the data, and whatever the changes you have done into the sales.xlsx file, so that changes are going to reflect into summary dashboard.pbix only. Okay. Now, this summary dashboard.pbix, what you will do? Again, you will publish. Again, you will publish this one. And now, here, this summary dashboard 2022, which is already existing. Okay. Now, this is already existing. So, what will happen? Now, if the file name is same, okay, for an example, this summary dashboard 2022, this is, you can consider this is the title name I have given. Okay, this is your dashboard title name. This is not the file name, remember, this is title. Okay, that is a dashboard title, or you can say the chart title. Okay, now here the same thing which I have just talking about over here, which I have just published, this is the title I'm just talking about. Okay, but now when you are just going to publish this one, so what will happen? This summary dashboard.pbix is going to get published on your cloud. Okay, so once you will publish, so here you will be able to see the same file names, like here summary dashboard, whatever the pbix file name, you will be able to see the same thing over here. Okay, now I have done some changes into my Excel file. Then after that, I have opened this summary dashboard.pbix. I have clicked on refresh. So once you click on refresh, it means the changes which you have done into your sales.xlsx file, those changes are going to reflect into your summary dashboard.pbix. Okay, but now this dashboard is not going to impact the changes which is already on your Power BI services. So what you have to do? Again, this summary dashboard PBIX file, you have to publish on this Power BI services. So what you will do? Again, you will publish this one. Once you will publish, so here in my Power BI services, the same file name is already existing. So it will ask you for the replace. So once you will click on OK, so it is going to override this file. And now the changes which you have done into the summary dashboard.pbix, now you will be able to see in this Power BI services. Okay. But again, you do not need to share with the users, because user has already received the URL, and once they will just click on the URL, so through the URL, this summary dashboard which we have published on this Power BI services, this is going to get open. So obviously, if you have made any changes into this summary dashboard which is existing on this Power BI services, so directly they will able to see the changes whenever they are just going to open that URL, whether on web or whether on mobile app. Is it clear till here, everyone?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, okay. Now, in this, suppose this is something the process you have told to this interview in the interview. Okay. Now, they can ask you the question over here. What will happen? For an example, suppose this dashboard which you have created and you are going to make the changes into the sales.xlsx, then every time you have to open this summary dashboard.pbix, you will refresh, again you will publish. So it means if I have made today any changes into sales.xlsx, it means again I have to open summary dashboard, I have to click on a refresh, I have to publish this on these services. If tomorrow, if my data gets changed that into the sales.xlsx, again I will open summary dashboard.pbix, I will click on this refresh, and again I will publish on this one, right? It means in my data set, if anything is getting manipulated, whether that is updating or that is deleting, every time I have to open this summary dashboard.pbix, I have to click on refresh, and again I have to publish or the deploy. So in the interview, they can ask you, can we refrain from this thing? Is it the way, is there any way that the changes which you have done into the sales.xlsx, so directly that changes reflect into your Power BI services? You should not open this summary dashboard.pbix and click on a refresh. So is there any way? Right?
No.
So yes, there is the way. So what is that way? So that way is nothing but known as the gateway concept. Okay, so this is nothing but known as the Power BI gateway, or you can say the data gateway concept. So now in this data gateway, what will happen if you have made any of the changes into your data source, and now if you have enabled this data gateway, so now this dashboard is connected with your data gateway, and once you will click on this refresh, so those changes are going to reflect into your dashboard, which is already existing or published on this Power BI service. Rahul, can you please be on the mute?
हम 2 मिनट में कॉल कर रहे हैं.
Thank you. Okay, so now here you can see, so here what you will get this option on the refresh on this Power BI services also. But the refresh which you are able to see on this Power BI services, this is going to help you only when your data gateway is enabled. So data gateway is one of the most important concept in this Power BI, and we will see that how we are going to enable this gateway on this Power BI services.
I want to ask one question, sir.
Yes, please.
Just suppose if we don't click on refresh, then it will not reflect in Power BI service.
Where you are talking about the refresh, which is I have written in Power BI services or in Power BI desktop?
In desktop, sir.
Okay, yeah, tell me.
So in Power BI desktop, if you don't click on refresh, then will it be not reflecting on this?
No, obviously not. Because for an example, if you have created any report, now this sales.xlsx is connected with my summary dashboard.pbix. Okay. Now, if you have made any changes, for an example, suppose in this sales.xlsx, now suppose you have the country and you have the sales. Okay. Now suppose the country I set the India, then here these, okay. Okay, now suppose the data set which you have over here, for example, now suppose you have the data set where you have the country and sales. Okay, now here what you have to do, I said I have a country and for this my sales is 100. Okay, now I have the another country here, I said the US, and for the US I say the sales which I have, so this is the 200. So now for example, I have a 2 records as of now. Okay, let's take an example. This is existing into my sales.xlsx. So once you will create the dashboard, so you will be able to see these 2 countries into your summary dashboard.pbix file. Yes or no? Clear?
Yeah.
Okay. Now suppose you have created the dashboard where the country India and the US is reflecting. Sales is 100 and 200, and you have published this dashboard and you have shared with the users also. Now tomorrow, when you open this Excel file, now the one more country is added over here, like this Australia is added. And now for the Australia, now the sales is supposed that is a 300. Okay. So now these changes I have done into my sales.xlsx file. Okay. So if I just want to show this Australia sales as a 300 into my summary dashboard.pbix file, then I will open this summary dashboard.pbix file and I have to click on refresh. Then only in my dashboard, this Australia sales is going to get reflect only. Is it clear? Any doubt?
No, sir. Yeah.
Okay. So now once you will click on refresh, then Australia sales is going to get reflect into summary dashboard.pbix. And now again, the changes which you have done and which is reflecting into summary dashboard.pbix, now you will save and you will again publish it on this Power BI services. And now the new dashboard is going to get update over here in this Power BI services, and you will be able to see the India, US, and the Australia sales into this summary dashboard. Okay. But now suppose if this step I just want to cut off. So as of now, what you are doing, if in my source file, if any changes are getting implemented or if any changes is happening, so you are opening this PBIX file, you click on a refresh and again you have to publish it. So I just want to cut this step. Which step? I do not want to open this summary dashboard.pbix. I do not want to click on this refresh. I do not want to republish it again. So I directly want to connect my sales.xlsx file with the dashboard, which is already published on this Power BI services. So for this one, they have given one feature or a functionality, which is nothing but known as a data gateway. So data gateway is basically the medium which is connected with your data source and the dashboard which you have published on your Power BI services. So if you make any changes into your source data set, so you do not need to publish it again and again. Directly by using this data gateway, which is available on your Power BI services, once you will click on the refresh, so automatically the changes which you have made into your sales.xlsx file, so those changes will reflect into your summary dashboard, which is existing on this Power BI services. Is it clear?
Yes, sir. Sir, I have a question.
Yeah, please.
Yes, sir. Suppose that your data is sir SQL file. Okay, sir. Then data
First of
gateway.
all, that is one. Sorry to interrupt. That is not the SQL file. That is a SQL database.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sorry, sir.
No issues. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So then, sir, data gateway is required for.
Yes. Yeah. So data gateway is not that data gateway only you can use in the Excel. No. Data gateway is a simple concept which says I am going to connect your Power BI report with your source data set. Your source data can be your Excel file, it can be your PDF, it can be your SQL server, it can be your Snowflake also. Any database from where you are importing, so that data set, I just want to directly get connect with the Power BI data set into the Power BI services. So yes, that will also require, yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So always remember, because whenever you are going to create any dashboard, so that in that dashboard, you have to use that data gateway concept, because now suppose you have created this Power BI desktop dashboard you have created and you have shared with the user. Now you have told to the user that if you will make any changes into your source data, then you need to open this PBIX file, you need to click on a refresh, and again you have to publish this one. Okay, so this is a little bit I would say this is a difficult for the client, that every time client has to open this one and client has to click on a reference, then the republish and so on and so forth. No. So here, what you can do, you can provide this data gateway concept. Okay. So you can ask that client that you do not need to open that summary dashboard.pbix file. I'm directly going to link the source data with your Power BI data set, which I have just deployed or published. And now you will click on that, click the refresh on this Power BI services, and that changes are going to reflect into your dashboard also. Is it clear till here, everyone? Okay, fine. Now the client can ask the question to you, can you also eradicate this step? Can you also cut off this step? The refresh which I am performing on this Power BI services, is there any way that automatically it get refreshed? So yes. So there is basically the concept of the scheduler. Okay. So now if you want that my data set always should refresh on a particular time, or the frequency which you just want to set, like the daily, weekly, monthly, hourly, okay, on the frequency on which you just want to refresh your data set, so you can refresh the scheduler also. So once you will refresh the scheduler, so automatically on that particular time, your data set is going to refresh every time. Okay, so now it will go for this one, and client do not need to click on this refresh button. Is it clear, everyone? Till here, anyone has any doubt or any query? No. Okay, great. Okay, let me save this. This I will share with you, so you can refer this. Okay. So let me save this. Okay. So this is Power BI 1 I have saved. Okay. Now, here, if I say the Power BI journey, okay, how this Power BI is implemented. So now I'm just gonna discuss about this Power BI journey first. Okay. Power BI journey. Okay. So now, how this Power BI came into the picture, and earlier how it was used basically. So when in the 2010, okay, so earlier what they have done, they have created one add-ins, okay, that is nothing but the Power Query add-ins. If you guys have used, I'm not pretty sure if you have used, so that was basically the add-ins. Okay, so they have created a separate add-ins for this Power Query, and they have simply said once you will use this add-ins, so in this Power Query add-ins you will get the different kind of a features and this functionalities. Okay, so the add-ins name was this Power Query, and in this Power Query add-ins, what you can do, you can perform anything which is related to your data set. So for an example, if I say you can query the data, which is nothing but known as a Power Query. Okay, you can combine the data. For example, you have a multiple data set, like you have a multiple Excel file and you want to combine all the Excel file into the single data set, then you can combine over there. Okay, then we have a transform. Transform is basically if you want to perform any transformation activities on the combined data. For example, you have combined the data from the multiple Excel file, and now you have to go for the data cleansing concept, like the some extra spaces you have to remove, you have to go for the text to column activities, any transformation activities which you just want to perform. So that was given into this Power Query add-ins. Now they have also given the remove and add. If you want to remove anything, if you want to add anything, or if you want to update anything, so all these feature and functionalities was available into this Power Query add-ins itself. Now, after this Power Query, they have given one more add-ins over here. Okay. Now, what was that add-ins? Now let's see. So that add-ins was nothing, but that add-ins was known as a Power Pivot. So that was Power Pivot. This was also the add-ins. Okay. Now in this 2010, we have to add this Power Pivot, but after that they have default given the COM add-ins, where you have to select this Power Pivot and you can use these features which are given into this Power Pivot itself. So now in this Power Pivot, they have given this Power Pivot basically for the analyze purpose. Always remember, like if I say the Power Query, so they have given for this data concept, but now this Power Pivot they have given for the analyze. So in this analyze, what you can do, for example, if I just want to link the tables, I can link the table. If I just want to perform any calculations, okay, it means calculate related thing, so I can go for any calculations related activities. If I just want to set up any filters, so I can set up the filters also, that user can filter the data, and on the basis of the filterization, user can analyze the data. Okay. Now, these two add-ins, one is basically your Power Query and second is your Power Pivot. Now, the features which are used into this Power Query and the Power Pivot, so now all the things has been combined, and now the visualization part is also added, and now that is converted into your Power BI then. So from here, it is transformed into this Power BI now. So here, that is Power BI. Okay. But this Power BI is basically used for which one? The visualization. Okay. Now here, what you can do, here you will be able to see each and everything which you are able to use into your Power Query add-ins, into your Power Pivot add-ins. All these features you will be able to see into this Power BI, and now you can create the visualization which was not the part of your Power Pivot, which was not the part of your Power Query. Okay, so here in this Power BI, the feature and the functionalities of your Power Query plus Power Pivot plus additional thing is the visualization. So all these three things has been combined together. Okay, so here you will be perform the charts or tables related activities you can perform. You can interact with the data source, interactions with data sources. Okay, now you can also go for the drill down level. Okay, or multi-level filters, you can say multi-level filters. And the fourth thing, you can just go for the explanations. Explanations mean where I just want to create a dynamic commenting. So in that case, I can just go for this explanations concept. Okay, now after this Power BI, the Power BI services has come into the picture. Okay, after this we have this Power BI services. Okay, so in the Power BI services, as I said, the Power BI services. Okay, so in this Power BI services, basically we use when we have to share the report or share the dashboard. So this is basically used for the sharing purpose. Okay, whenever we have to share the report or share the dashboard. So what you can do here, you can share the reports. Second, you can use this one on the web or in any of the applications, and now you can go for the integrations activities as well. Okay, so all these things are available into your Power BI services. So this is basically the complete journey of your Power BI. So earlier it was basically the add-ins, and the add-ins was for the Power Query, and the second add-ins was the Power Pivot. Power Query was completely related to your data activities or the data modeling related activities. Power Pivot was completely related to your analyze. And now the Power BI was basically the combination of your Power Query plus Power Pivot. And now the visualization was added, which was not the part of your Power Query or a Power Pivot add-ins. And now the visualization has been added. And now after that, the Power BI services has come into the picture. Earlier, it was not into the Power Query or a Power Pivot. Okay, so that was completely the part of your Excel add-ins only. Okay, for the Power Pivot and the Power Query, you were able to use these add-ins into your Excel only. In the Excel, you have to add that add-ins, and then only you can use this one. Is it clear? The Power BI journey is clear to everyone? Any doubt till here? Okay, perfectly fine. Now, I'm just going to let you know that how you have to download this Power BI desktop. Okay, so now what you have to do, you have to simply go on the Google, and here you can open the Google, and here you can write Power BI desktop download. Once you'll click on this one, you will get this first link. You have to click on this one. Okay, so once you'll click on this one, so here you will be able to see this page. And now if you scroll it down, so here you are able to see this Power BI desktop over here. Okay, so now you have to click on this download, although I have already downloaded. So once I will just click on this download, it will ask for the open Microsoft Store. Okay, it will also ask into your system as well. You have to click on open Microsoft Store. Once you will click on this open Microsoft Store, you will be able to see the Power BI desktop. If that is not installed into your system, so you will get for the download and install this one. But in my system, it is already existing, so I'm able to see this open. Okay, but in your system, if that is not installed, so you will be able to see this download, and you have to click on the download. Once you will click on a download button, then one exe file will get downloaded, and now you have to click on that exe file, and simply you have to click on the next, and in the same simple way, you have to install this one. That's it. Nothing you have to do. Once this will get installed into your system, then you will search over here like Power BI desktop, and you will be able to see this Power BI desktop. Once you will open this Power BI desktop, so now let it open. So I'm just going to show you the interface, that how this Power BI desktop will look like. Okay. So until this is getting open, so anyone has any doubt till now? In this Power BI, what exactly we have just covered till now. So if anyone has any doubt, so I'm happy to answer your query. Okay, perfectly fine.
Yeah, hello.
Yes, please.
Yeah, this Power BI desktop is
Mhm.
free, no?
Sorry,
This
this
Power BI desktop is means it will not cost, no?
no, there is no cost of this one. No,
It is free,
it is completely free. Yes.
and for Power BI service we have to pay.
For the Power BI services, you can use as a free, that is nothing but the trial version for the 60 days. After 60 days, you have to take the premium of this.
Okay.
So now you can see. So I have opened this Power BI desktop, and now here you can see this is basically the interface of this Power BI desktop. Okay. So now in this Power BI desktop, you will be able to see all these tabs and so on and so forth. So this is something I will discuss the later on, but now this is basically the interface of this Power BI desktop. So I will come on that point, what exactly this one is. But now before go into this interface into more details, so one of the most important thing which is asked into the interview with a different candidates into the different phase also. Okay, so they can ask you in the interview, can you please tell me how many types of the building blocks do we have into this Power BI? Okay, so how many building blocks? So what exactly we mean by the building blocks? So the mean of the building blocks is the things which are existing in any of the dashboard. Okay, so those are nothing but those are known as a Power BI building blocks. So what exactly the building blocks is, and how many types of a building blocks do we have? So we have 5 building blocks into this Power BI. What are those? The first one is known as a visualization. Okay, so what is a visualization? That is nothing but the data representation. Okay, this is nothing data representation, or this data representation, it can be in the form of, suppose, pie chart, column chart, in table, in any of the visualization it can be. Okay, so this visualization is nothing but that is basically the part of your data representation. Okay, second building block is known as a data set. Now what is a data set? So it is the collection of fields and records which use to create the visualization, right? This one, correct? So if you will have the data set, then only you can create the visualization, right? And in the data set, you will have the field and records. Field is nothing but your column headers, and record is basically the individual line items is nothing but known as a records. Now, the third one, if I say, so that is basically the report. Okay, so what is a report? So it is basically the collection of different visualization. Collection of different visualization, or you can say visuals. Different collection of different visuals is nothing but known as a report. So the different visualization is, I'm not talking about this pie chart or a column chart or a table. No, what exactly they mean by the different visuals or a different visualization? for an example, from one of the data set, you are going to create the different reports. For example, if I have given you one data set, through that data set only, one report you have prepared like the sales report. Second report, you are going to show me the year report or something. Third report, you are going to create the variance report, something like this. So individual reports are nothing but basically the report, this one, the individual pages which we are just going to create, like the sales report, the year report, or the variance report. So it is basically the collection of the different visuals. So for one visual, suppose the one page you have created, which is going to give me all the insights related to my sales. Second, you are going to give me the insights related to my year wise, whatever the changes are happening. The third page you have created, which is going to give me the variance report. So all these three visuals you have which created, so that is nothing basically the part of this report. Okay, and all these reports, if you combine together, so that is nothing but known as your visualization. Is it clear, everyone? The difference between the visualization and the report? Okay. Now here the fourth thing is basically the dashboard. Okay, so what is exactly the dashboard? So the Power BI dashboard is a single page interface. Okay, Power BI dashboard is single page interface. Okay, it means if you have a multiple visualizations and if you are combining together, so that converts into your dashboard now. And the last one, we have basically the tiles. So what is a tile? So tile is basically the single visualization found in your report or in your dashboard. Okay, so you can say the single visuals found, or you can say existing on your dashboard. Okay, on your report or on dashboard. Okay, so that is nothing but that is known as a tiles. Okay, so these are basically the building blocks we have. Okay, so we have 5 building blocks. One is basically the visualization, second is data set, third is report, fourth is your dashboard, and fifth is your tiles. Now if I say the data set, we can have the two kind of a data set. Okay, one is the simple data set, simple data set, and second can be the complex data set. Okay, what is the mean by the simple data set? Okay, so the simple data set means, for example, where we are working on single file, for an example. Okay, to create the dashboard, to create the dashboard. Now for an example, sorry, dashboard. Okay. Now for an example, suppose if I have given you one Excel file, which I say the sales.xlsx file, and using this Excel file, you have to create the visualization only. Okay, apart from this data source, you do not need to use any other data source. So whatever the information you require to create your visualization, everything is available on this file only, and you can use this one. Apart from sales.xlsx, you do not need to use any other Excel file or any other data source. So it means this is nothing my simple data set. What is a complex data set? So the complex data set is basically where we are working on multiple data sources. Okay, for an example, suppose I said the visualization which you have to create. So for creating that visualization, you have two data sources. One is your Excel file and second is SQL server. Now suppose I have given you two different data sources that you have to create the visualization, and for creating that visualization, the sum of the data you will get into from this Excel file, and some of the data directly you have to import from this SQL server, and after that you have to create the joins concept or whatever. After that, you have to create the visualization then. It means to fulfill the requirement, you are going to use these two different data sources. One is basically the Excel file and second is the SQL server. It means you are going to work on the multiple data sources. Okay, so this is nothing but this is complex data set. It also can be the multiple. It doesn't mean that only the combination of two is known as a complex data set. No, it means two or more than two data sources if you are using together. So that is basically the concept of your complex data set. For example, suppose one more data set I have given, like you have to import some data from the Snowflake also. So now in this case, you are using these three. It means the multiple data sources you have used to create your visualization or a dashboard. So this is nothing but known as a complex data set. Is it clear to everyone? Because this is one of the common question. This is a building blocks is common question in the interview. Anyone has any doubt before we move further? If any doubt to what we have covered? Okay, fine. Now you can see this is basically the interface over here. Okay, so now in this interface, you can see in the left hand side, you are able to see this report. Then you are able to see the data and you are able to see the model. Okay. Okay, Snowflake. So Snowflake is basically the cloud-based data warehouse. So where you store the data, you create the schema, and then you import the data into your Power BI services. Sorry, Power BI desktop. Like the SQL server is also a database. So same in the way, basically for the SQL server. So basically you are going to put the data on the server. But this Snowflake is basically the cloud data warehouse where you are going to store the data or companies store the data and you can use that data warehouse. Okay. Okay. Now here in the left hand side, you are able to see the report, then data, and then the model. In this report, if you will click on this report, then here you will able to see the reports or the dashboard which you have created. So this area, this wide area which I have highlighted, so this is nothing but known as a canvas. Okay, so canvas is the area where you are going to create the visualization after importing the data. Okay, so whatever the visualization you will create, so you will be able to see in this canvas area only. Okay, which is between into this dotted line. Okay, which I'm just highlighting. So this is nothing but known as a canvas area. Now in the right hand side, you will be able to see the one part which is nothing known as a filters. If you want to apply the filters on the basis of any headers on this page or in other pages or all the pages, so we can use this filter concept. Okay, we will see into the later session of the part. Here is the visualization. So visualization is basically that using your data set which you have imported, what kind of a chart you want to create. You want to create a pie chart, you want to create a donut chart, you want to create a column chart, you want to create a table, you want to create a gauge, what kind of a chart or a visualization you have to create. So here you are able to see the visualization which you can use into your data set to create the visualization. Okay, in the right hand side you are able to see the fields. So in these fields you will be able to see the headers for the data set which you have imported. So as of now I have not imported any data set, so I am not able to see any fields over here. Okay, so once you will import any data set into your Power BI desktop, so all the headers of that particular data set, you will be able to see it into this field section. And those headers you can use to create your visualization as per your business requirement or a client requirement. Now in the left hand side, the second is nothing but known as a data. So once you will click on this data, so here you will be able to see the data which you have imported. So here for an example, if I see over here in this field. So as of now, I have not imported. So that's why it is showing completely the blank. But for an example, if you have imported any of the data set, and once you will select that data set, so in that data set, what kind of a data is existing, you will be able to see in this gray out area. Okay, once you will import the data will be available over here. You will be able to see the data. The third one is basically the model. So model basically we use when we have to create the relation between two or more than two tables or two or more than two data sets. Then we use this model concepts or the relationship concept. And this is also one of the most important thing in the Power BI. Okay, so we will discuss into this later session of the part. So here we have a three thing, the report, then we have a data, and we have a model. These three different segments we have. Here you are able to see the tab name or a page name, which is coming as a page one. You can rename this page also. Okay, if you double click on this one, you can see this is into the edit mode. If I just want to rename this one, I can rename this and press the enter. And now you can see this page is renamed now. If you do the right click on this page, also you will get a rename page option over here. Once you'll click on this rename, now this is into the editable mode and you can rename this page also. Okay, like I say, the CoachX dashboard for an example. If I press the enter, now you can see this is renamed. And always the best practice is that if you are creating any visualization, the page name must be the meaningful, because when you are going to publish or you are going to deploy this one, these page name user or the client will be able to see on the Power BI services. Whenever he will open the dashboard which you have published, so all the pages which are available into your dashboards, so that pages, the same page name will reflect over here. If I keep the CoachX dashboard, user or the client will be able to see the page name as a CoachX dashboard. If I rename it as a page one and publish it again, then user will be able to see this page one. So always the best practice is that the visualization which you have created into this canvas area, so related to that only, just keep your page name. For example, if here you have created your sales dashboard, for example, or the summary dashboard, so what you can do, you can give this page name as a summary dashboard. Now suppose the another page you have added, and now in this page you have created the weekly report, so here you can give the page name as a weekly report. Okay, like here same, you can just go for the monthly report and so on and so forth. So the page name should be related to the visualization which is existing into that particular page. Okay, because through this, the same page name which you have given, the same page name will reflect on your Power BI services only. Is it clear to everyone? Till here, anyone has any doubt? Okay. Now, here you can see they have given this data sources. Okay, so here you can see this data section over here, and in this data section you are able to see this get data. So some of the common data sources generally which we use, so here you are able to see the outside of this one, like the Excel, the data hub, and in the data hub you can see you want to go for the Power BI data sets or a data marts, you can use this one. Here you can see if you want to import the data from the Excel file, you can see the Excel workbook. If you want to import the data from the SQL server, you can import the data from the SQL server also. Now, if you want to enter the data manually, or if you want to paste the data from the clipboard, like for an example, if you have any data into your Excel file, and now if you want to paste it over here, you can use this enter data. So this enter data is basically used if I do not want to import the data directly into my Power BI desktop. I have copied from there and I just need to paste it over here. In that case, I can use enter data. Or if I want to enter the records manually, in that case also I use. So for an example, if I click on this enter data, I will get a wizard where I will be able to see that is a create table. You can see, and here on the top, you can see the column 1 is coming as a default column header. I can rename it. So suppose I have created like country, then Next column I have created on sales. If you want to create one more column, you can click on plus, or here if you press the tab, automatically one more column will get added. If you want to delete this column, right click and click on a delete. You can insert the record, like here I say the India, the sales is 10,000. Here is Australia, the sales is 2099. Here is Sweden, the sales is 1920, something like this. And now it says before load the data, or before save this data. Okay, so this data will get load and you will be able to see the fields over here. What the table name you want to keep. Okay, so the default name is coming as a table. If you want to give, like suppose I say country table or country data or whatever the name you want to assign. So click on a load. Once you will click on the load, you will be able to see the country table data set over here, and whatever the headers are available, you will be able to see. Now you can see it is loading the data into your data model. Okay. So now you can see country table, it is now loading into your data model. Once it is loaded successfully, you will be able to see the number of records. You can see the 3 rows loaded. You can see, and now checkbox was also there. So now you can see in the right hand side, now you are able to see the country table, right? The data set which I have just given. Now, if I expand this, so in this data set, I have the 2 header. One is a country header, second is a sales header, you can see. Correct? Now, one more important thing over here, you are able to see this summation sign or a sigma sign over here, which is before this sales column, but not before the country column. Okay. Why? The reason is that because in this sales column, I have entered the data, which is completely the numeric data on which you can perform any aggregations activities or any calculations activities. But in this country, this is completely my text only, right? This is not the numeric. So if you have any data set which contains the text data type, so for that you will not be able to see any sign. But if you have any data which contains the numeric values where you can perform any calculations activities, you will be able to see the numeric sign over here. Okay. Now the question can arise, what will happen? Suppose if I have a date, then so I will come on that point. So before come on that point, the data which I have inserted over here in this country table, that was India, Australia, and the Sweden. If you want to see the data, that what kind of a data do we have in this country table, go into this data section. Once you will go here, select your data set, and now here it will load your data. You will be able to see the country and sales. You can see India, Australia, and Sweden with this country header, and you are able to see the sales 10,000 and 2,099, 1,920, whatever the sales we have here over here. So this data we have entered manually. Now suppose if I have the data into my Excel file, okay, so let it open. So now suppose if I have some data into my Excel file, and now from this Excel file, I just want to copy the data and I just want to paste into my Power BI desktop. Okay. So now, for example, here I have a date. Now I have the country, and now I have the sales. Okay. So some date, I'm just going to type it over here. Now suppose I have this date. Okay. Now country I have written over here, this one. And now I have the sales over here. So sales, I'm just gonna take between 1900 to 5400. Okay, now this is my sale. Now suppose this data I have, and I just want to copy it from here and paste into Power BI desktop. So this is nothing but this is the clipboard activities. Okay, so I have just copied this data. I want to paste where? Into my Power BI desktop. So what you will do, you will go into your Power BI desktop, click on this enter data. Once you will click on enter data, again it is going to open the wizard for the create table, and you have to click on this left corner. Okay, top left corner before this one and before this column one. So in this grid on the top left corner, you have to click and Control V, simply paste. So now you can see I have pasted this one. you are able to see all the records which I have copied from the Excel file. You are able to see this one, correct? Now here you can rename this table, whatever the name you want to assign. So I want to keep like country sales data. Now if I click on a load, now that data set is going to load, and whatever the number of rows we have, like the 10 rows we had, so we are able to see the 10 row has been loaded now. So now let me show you the data first. Here, if I select this country sales data, now you can see I have the data, this one, right? The date is coming, country is coming, the sales is coming. This date format, we can change it, okay? So that is not a big deal. If you select this date column, you are able to see the format and we can change it from here if you want to show in the short date, okay? So we can change it, so that is not an issue, okay? So now you can see the date you are able to see, country you are able to see, sales you are able to see. Now, if you go into this data, so when we have entered the data in this country table where we have entered manually the country and the sales, so we have two data type over here. One is a string, second is the numeric data type. Okay, so in the string, you are not able to see any of the sign. So if any column which contains purely the text values only, so for those column headers, you will not be able to see any sign. If in any of the column you have filled the purely numeric data, so in those columns you will be able to see this sigma sign or the summation sign. It means on those column you can perform any aggregations activity or any calculations you can perform. Now, if you have entered the date into a particular column, so you will be able to see this calendar icon. Look. So if in any of the column, if your date is existing, so for that you will be able to see this calendar icon. And before this date, you are able to see this arrow button, right? So this arrow button is nothing, but for this date, it has created the hierarchy. So what is the hierarchy of any date? First year, then quarter, then month, then day. So if I expand this one, so you are able to see the date hierarchy. If you expand this date hierarchy, you are able to see the year, quarter, month, and day. Because when the day combined together, it create the month. When the month combined together, it create the quarter. When the quarter combined together, it created the year. So basically, for any of the date, this is basically the hierarchy, right? Day, then month, then quarter, then the year, right? This is from lower to upper, and upper to lower, if you say year, then quarter, then month, then day. So in any of the column, if the date is existing, you will be able to see this calendar icon then, like this one. Okay. Is it clear to everyone? Any doubt? Okay, perfectly fine. Now, for an example, if you have used any of the data sources, okay, so that data source will reflect into your recent data sources also. For an example, if I have clicked on this one, so now you can see all these data sources I have used to create my visualizations. Okay, so here you are able to see the most recent, and here you are able to see the pin also. So I will discuss about this pin. Okay, so no need to worry about this one. So here you are able to see the most recent data sources over here, correct? So all the data sources you are able to see which you have used to create your visualization. Okay, but now if I go into this get data, so here I am able to see the CDS are nothing, the common data sources I am able to see. But apart from this one, all the data connectors or the data sources, if you want to see, so just click on the more. Once you will click on the more, then the new wizard is going to get open, where you will be able to see all the data sources which are categorized. Okay, so now let it open, and I will show you that what kind of a data sources do we have through which we can connect our Power BI to create the visualization. Okay, now let it open. Okay, now it is open. So here you can see this is a get data. So in this get data, you can see if you will select the all, so here you are able to see all these are data sources through which we can connect our Power BI and we can import the data. Okay, so for example, if you see from the Excel file, you can connect and you can import the data. From the text file or a CSV file, text file means the notepad file, CSV is basically the comma separated value file. If you want to connect with that, you can also with a XAML file, JSON file. If you have a files in a folder, then you can directly connect the folder also. If you have the table into the PDF, you can connect with the PDF also. Now you are able to see, and if you click on this file, so here you can see these are basically the files you are able to see it over here. Correct. So these are nothing but the categories in the files you are able to see. With all these file data sources, you can connect your Power BI desktop. Here you are able to see the databases like the SQL Server, then the Oracle database, SAP HANA database, Amazon Redshift, Impala. Okay, with any of the data sources, if you want to connect, you can connect with this one. Here you are able to see the Power Platform. So if you want to connect with the data wars or if you want to connect with your Power BI data sets, you can go for this one. Related to your Azure, you are able to see the Azure databases if the company is using, for an example, or client is using. So you can directly connect with Azure database also. In the online services, you will be able to see the SharePoint online list. For example, if any of the list which is created on the SharePoint, and now that list you want to connect with your Power BI desktop, then you can use this SharePoint online. And now the Google Analytics you can also use here, Adobe Analytics you can also use. So these are basically the online services. If you want to connect with the online, so here you can go for this one. Okay. Now, in the other, if you just click on this other, so you are able to see apart from your file database, Power Platform, Azure, or on the online services, if you are able to see in the other section, you are able to see the web, SharePoint list, OData feed, and so on and so forth. You are able to see this one. Now, if you want to search, for example, I say, I just want to connect my Power BI desktop with a Snowflake. So here, suppose if you are not aware where the Snowflake will come in which category. So here the search button is also here. So if you type like the Snowflake, so I'm able to see the Snowflake over here. Okay, so I can connect this Snowflake, which is getting fall into my database category. Okay, so directly you can search by using this search box, you can find out your data source through which you just want to connect. So now, for example, if I just want to connect with this Excel workbook, so I have selected this Excel workbook and simply I will connect. So once I will just click on a connect, so it will ask me through which data source you just want to get connect. So now here, I just want to get connect with my data source. For an example, suppose if I have this Power BI data set, and now if I click on open, I have selected that Excel file. Okay. So now you can see it is connecting with my Excel file. And now if you see, okay, so here you are able to see it is connected with my Power BI data.xlsx file. And now one more important thing, okay, then this question can be asked into the interview that if you have connected with the Excel file for an example, and here you are able to see one number within this square bracket, what this number represent. Okay, what this number represent, which is written into this square bracket after this .xlsx. So
it is showing no these three order people are written.
yeah,
There are three.
yes.
So that's why. Okay.
Yes. So basically these new numbers which is written into this square bracket that represents the number of worksheets which you have into this available file into this Power BI data.xlsx. So in this Power BI data.xlsx, I have three different tabs or three different sheets. One sheet name is order, second sheet name is people, and third sheet name is returns. Now, if you want to see that what kind of a data do we have into these orders in people and in returns. So if I select these orders, okay, so here in the right hand side, you will be able to see that this kind of a data we have into my orders tab. You can see, okay, all these columns, these are the data set. Okay. Now here, if you click on a people, you can see these are the data sets which we have in the returns. We have this kind of a data available. So now For an example, if we have to upload this orders data into my Power BI desktop. So if you have selected this orders here, so here you are able to see this load and the transform data is disabled now. These two buttons are not enabled. So these two buttons will get enabled only when you will check these check boxes. So now, for example, I just want to import the data for this order. So simply I will click on this checkbox and now you can see load and transform data are enabled now. What is the mean by this load and transform data? So this load is related when we consider our data as a refined data. It means suppose the data set which I'm importing over here, like for example, this orders data, I'm just going to import into my Power BI desktop, and I'm completely agree on this, that in this order data, and I'm pretty sure on this one, that in this order data, I do not want to go for any data massaging, okay, or a data cleansing concept. No, my data is completely ready to create the visualization. Simply, I just need to create the visualization. It means this order data directly I can use this one. I do not need to create any kind of a data cleansing over here. It means like the extra spaces or create the new column or delete any column or any kind of a formatting. I do not have to do. The data which I'm importing, my data is completely refined data and directly I can use to create the visualization. In that case, you can go for this load. But now suppose the data which you have imported or which you are going to import, in that, if I just need to perform some data cleansing concept, it means some extra spaces I have to perform, some text to column activities I have to perform, some new columns I have to do this one. So in that case, I can go for this transform data. It means if any kind of a transformation you want to perform, then you can go for this transform data. But it doesn't mean that if you have loaded the data, then you cannot perform the transform data. No. For example, in its order data, I have to perform some kind of a transformation, but here I have not clicked on transformation. I have loaded the data. After loaded the data, even I can perform the transformation. So it doesn't mean, but they have given the feature that rather than loading the data first, then go for the transform data. If you are aware that you have to perform some kind of a transformation, so rather than opening the later on the transform data window, you can directly open the transform data from here itself. Okay, so now as of now I do not have to perform anything, so simply I will just click on this load data. So once I will click on this load data, so orders tab is going to get load into my Power BI desktop. And once this data will get load successfully, then in the right hand side, the orders data set I will be able to see, and all the columns which are available into my orders, I will be able to see that. So here you are able to see 51,290 records are loaded successfully. So you are able to see this orders data set now. If I go into this data set and if I select this orders, so I have selected the orders. Now you can see total number of rows. How many rows do we have? 51,290 rows. And if I scroll it right, so you can see these are the columns and these are the data set which we have into this orders data. Okay, this one. Fine. Now here, if you hover the cursor on any of the data set, you will be able to see these three things: name, storage mode, data refreshed. Name is nothing but the name of the data set. Like here, the orders data. Storage mode. Storage mode is basically I have imported the data, right? Date refresh, that is the date time stamp. When I have imported this data, the date is coming, that is a 11/27, that is today's date, and the time, that is a 8:53:38 seconds. On this time I have imported this data. The country table you are able to see, I have imported this data, right? This one. So where you have created the manually also. Now for this one, you are also able to see this country sales data. Okay, this one. So this is basically related to the information, the data, when you have imported, what is the storage mode, and the date time stamp and the name of the data set you are able to see. If I expand this order, so here I am able to see all those headers which are available into my data set, correct? And now you are able to see you are able to see the summation sign, you are able to see the calendar sign and no sign, correct? So if the no sign is coming like for the category, for the city, for the country, customer ID, if the sign is not coming over here, it means these are containing as a text data type or a string data type. For this one, for the discount, for the postal code, profit, quantity, row ID, sales, shipping cost, for this one, you are able to see the summation sign or a sigma sign. It means all these columns contains the numeric values. On those, I can perform the calculations. And where you are able to see the date icon, like calendar icon, like for the ship date, for this order date, and yeah, these two, order date and the ship date. So it means in this order date column and in the ship date column, the date is existing now. So because of that, you are able to see this calendar icon or a date icon. Okay. Now, suppose if I just want to create a visualization over here, okay? So I'm just going to give you a brief about the visualization and we will see more into the deep in the terms of the visualization. So for example, I just want to see the country wise sales. So I have clicked on this category and or a country or a category wise. For example, the category wise I have selected and now I have selected the sales also. Okay. Now you can see. So in which category what exactly the sales has been done, you are able to see the sales figure. And if you select your visualization, so in this visualization area, you are able to see this table is getting highlighted with this gray out, correct? It means this is your table visualization. If you want to change it, if I click on this column chart or a pie chart, if I click on column, my visualization is going to convert into column. If I click on a table, it is going to convert into table. If you click on a pie chart, it is going to convert into the pie chart. Okay, in any of the visualization, you can convert this one. Okay, now suppose this is something you have created into this table. Now in this visualization, in table visualization, I have to perform some formatting. Okay, like here, for example, the title here of the header, like the category and sum of sales, I want to increase some font size. So it doesn't mean that if you stress this one, then the font size is going to increase. No, here they have given the formatting option and format depends on your visualization. It doesn't mean that the same kind of a formatting you will get in all the visuals. No, formatting will keep change on the basis of your visuals only. So like for an example, I have a table visualization. So I will select my visualization and here you are able to see format your visuals. Click on this one. Here you are able to see all the formatting over here. For example, I just want to increase the size of the header, like the category and sum of sales. So I will go into this column headers and now you are able to see the font size and the font name also and the alignment, background color, each and everything. So like here, some size I just want to increase. So I can increase the font. Okay, or directly you can type it over here like the 15 if I write. So now you can see the font size is over here. If you want to change the font name, like here you can see this is a Sego UI. If you want to change this font name, click on this drop down and like suppose if I have selected this UI bold, now you can see the font name has been changed. Now it is bold. If I just want to fill the background color into my header, so here you can select the background and any of the color you can select from the background, like the blue color, suppose I have selected, you can see the blue has been filled at the background. Now the text color or a font color, like for the category and sum of sales, I just want to change it like the white. I just want to keep, click on a white and you can see the color has been changed now. Okay. If you want to keep the alignment like the left, right or center, you can go for the left, right or center alignment over here. Okay. And now here is the option of the text wrap. If suppose, for example, if the header is more, so if you want to wrap the text like in the Excel you have seen, so it is turn on. It means if there will be the more keywords. So in that case, your header is going to wrap automatically. Okay. Now, I just want to increase this value size, furniture, office suppliers, and the figures and so on. So what I will do, click on these values now. Earlier, I have clicked on this column headers. Now we have to work on this values. So click on these values and now you are able to see the same things over here. So now if I increase the font like the 15, suppose I have done, you can see, you are able to see the 15 size over here. Correct. Now, here you can see the text color is a black color as of now. If you want to make it as a bold, you can see. If I click on a bold, you can see it is working fine. Okay. Now here, this is a black color, then the background color, and the alternate color is black. If you want to change it, the alternate background color, alternate text color is black, alternate background, you can see white is coming, then the gray is coming, then white is coming, then again gray will come, alternate background color. If you want to change your background color like the orange I have selected, you are able to see white, then orange, then again white, then again orange will come. If you will have one more category, so that will be shown to this orange color. Okay. So now something like this one you can go for. So if you want to change it, you can change it as well. Okay. Now suppose if you want to type the header on the top, okay, like I just want to show the header on the top that this is the category wise sales. So here what you have to do, go into this general, and here you are able to see the title. So here you can see this is the turn off. If you expand this one, you are not able to make any edit over here, or you are not able to type anything over here because this is a turn off. So you have to turn it on, and now all the things are enabled and you can type the text over here, whatever the title you want to assign. Like I say category wise sales. Now on the top you are able to see the category wise sales. Correct. If you want to make anything into your header, like the font size or the font name, like here, if I have selected this font name, and the font size, suppose I have given as a 20. Okay, this one. So now you can see, if you want to fill the background color over here, you can fill the background color, like the background color you have filled. And if you want to change the text color also, you can change the text color also as well. Okay. Now you can keep the alignment, the left, right, or center. Like the center I have aligned, you can see the center has been aligned. If you right alignment, this is right alignment, this is left alignment, center alignment. Now, so here what we have to do is, for an example, if I just click outside of this, so now you can see I'm able to see the visualization, but I just want to give the border around this visualization. I want to give the border. So what I will do, I will select my visualization, go into format visuals, go into general, and here you are able to see the effect. If you click on an effect, if you scroll it down, you are able to see the visual border. Turn it on and you are able to see the rounded corners. So you have to increase the pixel size into rounded corners, like 11, suppose I have given. So you are able to see the rounded corners into this visualization. You can see. Correct. So here you can give the rounded corner. So it means if somebody is asking to you that you have to give the some borders into your visualization, it means they are talking about the rounded corners. Okay. Now suppose if you have created the another visualization over here, which I say for an example, I have created the segment wise sales. Okay. And now this is something I have created into my column chart. Okay. So now this column chart is created. Now I want to perform some formatting into this one. So for example, the first thing I want to perform, the header name which is coming as a, or chart title which is coming as a sum of sales by segment, I want to change this one and I want to show as a segment wise sales. Okay, so what you will do, select your visualization, go into format, and now this time you are able to see the x-axis, y-axis, and so on, which was not reflecting when we have selected the table visualization, right? If I select the table, look, you are able to see really all the formatting which is related to your table visualization. If I select the chart, I am able to see all the formatting which is related to my this column visualization. So first of all, we have to change the header over here on the top. So I will click on the general, go into title, and here I can type my title, whatever I want to write. I say the segment wise sales. Okay, this one you can see. I want to change the font name. Okay, I want to change the font header like the 20. I want to make it as a center align. I want to fill the color at the background. Like for example, any of the color, if you have taken like this, the color is filled down. Now, one thing is done. Now the second thing, what I want to do, I want to give the rounded corner. So what I will do, same format visuals, general, effect, then visual borders, make it turn on, and here go for this 11 pixel. Okay, now this is done. Now the third thing which I just need to perform it over here, this consumer, corporate, home office, I know this is related to my segment only. So here the x-axis title which is coming as a segment over here, and the y-axis title which is coming as a sum of sales over here, I do not want to show into my graph or a visuals. So I just want to remove this segment which is coming over here as a header in the x-axis, and the y-axis headers or a title I just want to remove. So what I will do, go into my visuals, expand this x-axis, scroll it down, you are able to see this title. So this is turn on, make it turn it off. You are able to see this is removed now. Same in the y-axis, you can go into y-axis, and here you will be able to see the title is turn on, make it turn off. You can see. Now this is removed. Now I just want to increase the some size of this individual values like the consumer, corporate, home office. I just want to increase some size. Go into x-axis and increase the size of the values. Like here, suppose I give as a 10 or suppose 12, something like this, you can see. Okay, if you want to keep it as a bold, click on a bold. Now you can see this is bold now. Okay, now same for the y-axis, like 0 million, 2 million, 4 million, and 6 million. These values I just want to increase. Same, go into y-axis, is scroll it down, go into values, and here you can see same, the 12 I'm just giving and making as a bold. You are able to see this one. Okay, now this is perfectly fine. Now seeing this graph, segment wise sales, if somebody asks you, can you please tell me what exactly the sales figure into consumer sales? So exact figure I cannot tell. I can tell yes, in the consumer the sales is greater than the 6 million or almost around the 6.4 or a 6.5 million, but exact figure I cannot tell, right? But if you want to show the exact figure, so in Excel what we do, we add the data labels, right? Same here, select your visualization, go into format your visuals, you scroll it down, and you can see the data labels, which is the turn off as of now. Turn it on, go into data labels, and here you are able to see the data labels is added. Now I'm going to perform some formatting. Okay, so go into values and increase the size. So suppose the 12 I have given and make it as a bold. You can see. So you can see in consumer 6.5 million is sales, corporate 3.8, and in home office 2.3. It doesn't mean that every time it will show into million. No, it depends on your data set. Okay, automatically it detect the unit or a display unit. You can say automatically it will get detect. But suppose if I say I do not want to show into the million, I just want to show into the thousands. I just want to change my display unit. So yes, display unit you can change. If you in the values, if you see, so here are a display unit. If you click on this drop down, here you can see you can change the display unit. So as of now, this is into the auto mode. Auto mode means on the basis of your data set, it is detecting the display unit. But if you want to change it, you can change it. Like if I click on 1,000, now you can see you are able to see the thousands over here. Okay, correct. If I say I just want to show into the millions, if I click on this one, you can see the millions are coming, right? If I do not want to show, click on a none. The overall figure you will be able to see like this one, correct? This is something you can use this one. Now suppose this is into the million and I say I do not want to show the one digit, I want to show the 2 decimal points. Okay, so here this decimal is also into auto mode. Click here and you can type the decimal number. Like here I have write the 2, so you can see the 2 decimal points. You are able to see like the 6.51 million or 3.82 million or something like that. Okay, now for an example, if you have changed the display unit from million to the thousands, okay, let me show you. So here go into data labels, go into values section, and now for example, if you have changed the 1000, okay, now if my values or a data labels is showing in thousands, but my y-axis into the millions, it is correct? No, right? My y-axis also should be in the thousands. So how you will change the y-axis into the thousands? So here you will go into this y-axis, scroll it down, go into these values, scroll it down, and here you can see the display unit in y-axis. So here you have to convert into this 1000. So now you are able to see 2000, 4000, 6000, and so on and so forth. Correct? This one. And same here in the y-axis, you can also show the decimal point. If you go with 2, this is a 2 decimal point or a 3 decimal point, whatever you want to keep it. Okay. This one. So this is something you can perform. And here you are able to see the switch axis. Okay, if you want to make as a primary axis towards the secondary axis, so you can see if you click on this one, your axis is switching from left to right. Okay, this is something you can use this one. Okay, so this is something we can just go for. If you click on auto, automatically it will go into this million, and I do not want to show the decimal point. You can see if 1 decimal point you want to show, you can go for this one decimal point. Okay, so in the same pattern, we can just go for, now I'm just going to convert this data labels again into millions. So what I will do, I will go into this data label. As of now, I'm just going to convert into auto mode, or you can simply select the millions also. The same thing. If you select the million or if you select the auto mode, both are the same things as of now in this case, because my data default is coming into my millions as per the data set or volume which you have into this sales values. Okay, so now you can see the formatting which we have seen into the table and the formatting which we have seen into this column chart. Complete formatting is different. There is no common formatting over here. Correct. Now, for example, suppose if we have a pie chart, then so now for an example, if you have the category wise profit, okay, and now I have converted into this pie chart. Okay, now in this pie chart it is coming. Now here I just want to use the formatting, so I can go for the format mentor and use this one. So but here we are going to perform it manually as of now. Okay, so here first of all the title we have to change. So same format visuals, go into general, title, and here we can say the profit by category. Okay, make the chart title size, change the font name, make it as a center align. Okay, fine, and just fill the background color, this one. And now we are going to give the rounded corner also. So go into effect, visual borders, turn it on, and 11 pixel I have given. Till here seems fine. Now this one, the category technology, office supplies, furniture, which you are able to see in the right hand side. So these are nothing but known as the legends. Okay, so these legends position you can change. If you go into format visuals, legends, you can see this is turn on. If I make it turn off, you can see it is removed. And the legends position you can change, like here it is a center right, you can go for the top left. You can see you can change the position of this one. Okay, now here suppose I just want to show the technology, office supplies, furniture, but this category which is written before this technology, the legends title I do not want to show. So this title I can make it turn off, and that will remove it from here. Okay. Now, for an example, in this case, you can see the percentage is coming and the overall value is also coming. Correct. I say I do not want to show this value. I just want to show the percentage only, because pie chart is related to your contribution. Okay, to show the percentage. So what I will do, I will go in this format, and here you can see the detail labels, expand this one, and here you are able to see the label contents. So what label content is selected? Data value and percentage of total, right? And percentage of total. So you are able to see the data value and percentage of total. But I want to show the category and percentage of total. Category, it means, for example, let me show you percentage of total. If I'm showing, so it means the overall percentage for each and every category. But along with this percentage, I say I just want to show the category, like technology this much percentage, office supplies this much percentage, cat furniture this much percentage. So here I will select this category and percentage of total. Now you can see along with this percentage, you are able to see the category name also. Okay. If you go into this value, you can suppose make it a bold, increase a little bit font size, something like this, you are able to see. Okay. Now, if the value is showing like the furniture, technology, office supplies is coming, so on the top, whatever the legends I have shown, so these legends is not required, correct? Because already I have shown. So what I will do, these legends I will make it a turn on. So now you can see my graph is completely ready now. Okay, so if you see, so the formatting which we have done to create the table, create the column or create the pie chart, so every visuals has a different kind of a formatting and features, correct? Now if I just want to change the individual slice color, okay, like for technology I just want to keep the different color, office supply I want to keep the different color, furniture I want to show the different color. So in that case what you will do, go into format, go into slices, and from here you can change the color. Like for technology, suppose I say this is the color. For the office suppliers I say suppose this is the color, and for the furniture suppose this is the color. So now you can see I have changed the color for office suppliers, technology, and furniture. Correct? So for the individual slices, you can also change the color. Okay. So this is something related to the formatting which I have told to you. So we will also see the more formatting when we will come into this visualization. But this is something I just want to demonstrate to you or show to you that if you are going to create any kind of a visualization, formatting is one of the most important concepts. Is it clear, everyone? Anyone has any doubt till here what we have covered today? Okay, absolutely fine. So if no one has any doubt, so we can just wind up the session for the today. And in the next session, we will see the rest of the functionalities which we have into this Power BI. So we will just go in that. And this file I will share with the project team and they will share with you, and you will get all these files and whatever the notepad I have just written over there, all the things, each and everything which I have used into this session, which I have, typed it over here in the terms of some content which I have explained to you. So all this you will just get it and they will just share with you then. Okay. Okay, so if no one has any questions, so we can just wind up the session for today then. Okay, perfectly fine. So see you guys next week. Good night. Take care.